Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Captain Shaq here, and welcome back to Empire at War, the Remake Mod. If you've never seen this mod before, it's available over on Steam. It is a complete, update to the original fantastic RTS, Empire at War Forces of Corruption. This is the main menu. It's a little kind of laggy as it loads in different battles, and it'll freeze up on you. Just give it a second, it will pop back in. Today, we're going to be playing a little skirmish as the Rebel Alliance, and we've got a goal today. We're gonna play the proper Rebel Alliance. Man, I love those hut ships. They look so freaking good with their solar sails. Anyways, we're gonna play the Rebel Alliance, and we're gonna be focused on fighters, as the Rebel Alliance should be. And I'm gonna show you how to, kick the crap out of the AI on whatever difficulty you want to play on. And we're gonna talk about, the balance, where the game is at, and we're gonna build some sweet, sweet X-Wings because they're my favorite ship in all of Star Wars. All right, let's go against the Empire because Empire's fun to fight, and let's throw it on Death Sticks. That is the difficulty. By the way, difficulty, Colto, Spice, Death Sticks, that's the, it's kind of weird that Spice is in the middle, but this is the order that they go in. Death Sticks is going to be your hardest. We'll play as the Rebellion in red. Alzok Outpost? Yeah, it's a flat map. It's pretty generic. Let's go. The whole point of Skirmish is to get more resources than the enemy has coming in. I think the difficulty, the only thing that it actually does is it changes the multiplier that the AI gets, so they just get more money than you, meaning they can build more stuff and do more research than you. Hopefully, we can gain a large enough economic advantage and fighter advantage to win the day. So I'm gonna pause it real quick so you can take a look around the map. Here's our tiny little space station. We're gonna be upgrading this as we go, but we're not gonna probably go the whole way with it because honestly, I don't think we're gonna need it since we're going for X-Wings and Y-Wings and things that carry those fighters. That's a key there. It's not the only thing we're gonna be building. The map, what do we have on this map? We've got 2 resource nodes directly next to our starbase. We've got 3 in the center, top, middle, and bottom, and then we got 2 for the enemy that's mirrored. All right, totally even. The Empire's located right here. Let's go for it. Now, Remake Mod is cool because they actually give you all kinds of neat things that you can build with these instead of just mines, and this affects the direction that you take your battle, how you want to win. Do you want to focus on, capital ships and maybe Republic capital ships? You can totally do that with the buildings that you're building, and if you want to see that video, let me know in the comments. Maybe we'll do a Republic fight as the Rebellion, where we focus on old tech from a war long lost or won, depending on what perspective you're looking at it. All right, we're gonna dive right into it. And since we're doing a fighter focus, I'm gonna build fighters. Great thing about building fighters at the beginning of the match is they build really freaking quick. Boom, one's already done. We've got a squadron ready to drop out of hyperspace. Come on in. I'm gonna pause it real quick one more time. When you start a match as the Rebellion, you can build Corvettes, and these have a lot longer staying power than, say, a Z95. The Z95 kind of gets smacked out of the sky really quickly early game. But they take a while to make, but they're actually faster to move around the map than fighters because of their boost, and I think their flat speed is just faster because they are the blockade runner. Let's go on pause. Z95 is not a terrible fighter, though. It does come with concussion missiles, which is pretty sweet, and as we upgrade this, it'll get better and better. It's a good escort for other fighters. I even think that's what they say in the description for it. Where's our... we gotta go down here. All right, we're gonna jump down here. We're gonna drop a fighter here, let them come out of hyperspace. Once they're out, we'll give them orders here in the center, and then come on, here at the top. We're gonna jump back down here and get our resources coming in. We're gonna pick up an asteroid mining facility, and the second I have the opportunity, we're gonna max out all of these turrets. You managed to grab this? Perfect. We're gonna get a frigate shipyard. This is how you get your frigates. Frigates and capital ships, let me pause again. Frigates and capital ships only come from the space stations, the shipyards related to them. You can't get them from the main station like the base game anymore. So keep that in mind when you're figuring out what you want to do. You don't have to have every ship unlocked to win a battle in this. All right, our other fighters should be here. You can pause and give orders if you want to. I'm probably only going to pause when I want to talk to you guys about various mechanics. I'm giving orders to all of our Z95s. They've been ordered. That's the freaking Death Star back there. Okay. Yep, I didn't know that was in this map, but cool. There's the Death Star, and the model looks really, really good. We're spreading out to take over all of these points, hopefully before the Empire has a chance to grab them. Let's go ahead and also get a research upgrade and start working on our fighter upgrades a bit. How is that coming along? And it's
Building
sort of
started.
coming along. I'm picking up all the
Building
cheapest
started.
turrets here. It is always better to build something that you can afford, let me pause, than build nothing and let the enemy take the spot from you. Even if it's just building the cheapest piece of defense that you've got, and as the Rebellion, you do have some very cheap defenses, because then the enemy has to take the time to kill it, and it means there's not going to be something that you have to fight there. So if you have the opportunity and it looks like you're going to lose something that you currently control, like one of these rocks that you've taken but haven't built anything on it, throw something on it before the enemy has a chance to get it. It'll give you the opportunity to respond to whatever they're bringing in instead of them just walking in and taking it. Also, there's a respawn timer for these rocks. They take a minute to come back. So if the enemy has to kill it, there'll be nothing there. One of the advantages that the Empire gets is they get a pretty sweet defensive station for relatively cheap versus the Rebellion's really crappy, crappy Rebel asteroid base, which is supposed to give you some kind of fighter bonus. Spawns Rebel fighter squadrons from time to time, provides combat bonuses to Rebel fighter units. I haven't noticed fighters spawning here as I've played. Unless they were Z95s and I just didn't notice them being added because I was doing Control A all the time. Not so sure. You can get a proper space station, which this is literally your main space station rebuilt for 22,000 credits at level 1, which is kind of nice. That thing does have a ton of weapons, particularly when it's been upgraded a bit. And I think it's not even the level 1 version. I think when you build it, you actually get the version that you have already researched. I think you get that because I remember I had most of the donut station, the round station. The other ones you get are the research facility as the Rebel Alliance. This will allow you to unlock things like heroes and Clone Wars era technology. And then as we talked about before, your shipyards. If you want to go capital ship, 6,000, but it eats one of your building and or income points. If you do your income research, by the way, there's a good chance you're not going to need more than 1 mine. All right, let's go ahead and pause. We got a couple of fighters that came out of the shipyard, and we can start building stuff, and look what we can build. I'm going to start building quasars like crazy. These are going to give us Arc 170s. They're also going to give us the PT-1, which is a little speedy guy, and I think these actually come with an X-Wing squadron. I'm not totally sure. I'm actually not going to do that many. Let's just get one for right now, because I want to get the space station upgrade. We're going to pick up a, what are we at, 11,000 right now? Do we want money? Do we want research? We're gonna go for the Rebel asteroid base here. We're gonna go for the Rebel asteroid base down here because it's cheap. I can build it right now. Same with the turrets. Notice I keep building the cheapest thing because I just want something there. I'm surprised the Empire hasn't arrived yet. I did manage to beat them, which is pretty great. And take these. In the north, I'm gonna get a research station. And, oh, we have enemy contact. Imperial TIE fighters are approaching fast, which is a perfect job for our concussion-laden Z95s to start popping them. There's the concussion missiles, and there's a couple of dead TIEs. That'll put that in our advantage. Another thing that we could build, we'll get a couple of U-Wings at the moment. Let's get you up here. And then I really want this to be done, but it's not going to be done in time, so we're going to spam Z95s for now. The U-Wings are there just to keep the fleet supported. All right, now we're talking. They got some patrol boats coming in, nice and slow, Tartan patrol boats. These are anti-fighter ships, so we're gonna fall back, get within the gun range, which I forgot to build up here, or I missed one. So we're gonna spam those real quick. I don't expect those guns to actually kill these patrol boats. I think they're just light lasers. I think they're anti-fighter lasers, but at least it keeps them from taking them and putting something scary on there. Now, my objective is to overwhelm these patrol boats with an amount of firepower that will hopefully instant kill them before they have a chance to kill our fighters, and then have U-Wings on standby to repair the fighters that take damage. So let's get our Z95s out of here. Go ahead and pause. How's that research? It's done. We've got the tech up. Now we can go for Y-Wings, and it begins. Bring on the swarm. Oh, we've also got an acclimator over here. Interesting. What's going on in the south? Our Z95s are here and on standby. Our Z95s from the station have spawned. We'll go ahead and engage. I want more Y-Wings before we actually fight. Give me some more, and then we'll start getting some X-Wings as well. Oh, that reminds me. Let's get another Quasar. Quasars are another support unit that can repair our ships in an AoE around them, but they can only repair fighters. Now you got kind of where I'm going with these Quasars, right? So, combat in Remake is kind of cool when it comes to time to kill. A lot of mods, you'll find that once a ship gets engaged in combat, it's gonna be dead before it can pull off the front line, but that's not so in Remake. In Remake, the time to kill is really, really slow for almost all of ships except for fighters, funny enough. So you have a chance to pull away. Even the AI knows that if it's taking too much damage, it'll move its ships out of there. You'll see it pull like blockade runners out when they're playing the Rebellion, and as the Empire, for the most part, they'll run. Unless they end up losing their engine. Look, you can't even kill the engine on this acclimator, so it can't even slow it down. It'll always have its maneuverability. So what you end up wanting to do, if you want to make sure you kill a target, is focus fire. And that's why I'm waiting on these Y-Wings. I want enough Y-Wings to decimate that acclimator. And this is where concussion launchers, heavy missile launchers, and protons start coming into their own. In Remake, they're really important because the damage that you do to those subsystems can't be repaired. Because that blue shield bar, you're basically not doing damage until you get through it, because that's just going to heal itself. Your shields will always heal themselves. So we'll wait until we get, actually, by the time I get you guys all in here, let's go ahead and pause. Let's get all the squadrons coming in just out of firing range. They don't really have any cover. We'll give them a U-Wing as backup. We'll bring in X-Wings as well to stop the influx of enemy fighters that are coming. And one Quasar right on top of the enemy. All Y-Wings, where are you going? Engage, and I want you taking out those concussions. You Arcs, go ahead and engage. He's starting to make a move. Let's get some more Y-Wings on here. And let's bring in another U-Wing. As soon as you guys come in, we should be absolutely just destroying subsystems right now. Don't bother going for the shield. Acclimator shield isn't worth it. It's better to go for the concussions and keep your fighters alive. Okay, all Y-Wings switch targets. I want you to kill those patrol boats. Normally, they wouldn't be the greatest use of your time using a Y-Wing squadron against patrol boat because they're anti-fighter, but you get enough Y-Wings and enough missiles heading toward an enemy target, and you've done enough Alpha Strike damage to just wipe them out without losing anything. Nicely done. U-Wing! Let's put our repair package in front of where the target's going to be. We can also move these in Remake Mod. And we'll bring in another Quasar. Notice our Quasar is taking almost no damage. If you wanted to, you could bring in, because Quasars, and this is why they're so good in Skirmish, you can bring in a repair unit because it basically works like a Corvette. There's no subsystems on a Quasar. So any of your logistical ships will always be able to bring this back to maximum health. There's nothing that they can target with bombers or torpedoes or heavy missiles to permanently lower the HP of the ship itself, because every subsystem is a portion of the max health, right, of a ship. So like this right here, this will never come back to full health. It will always only have one heavy concussion missile launcher and a couple of heavy single laser batteries, which, by the way, these are heavy laser cannon batteries, but they're not turbos, meaning they're actually pretty decent at taking out fighters. That's kind of their role. The heavy version probably means it's better at taking out something like an ARC or a LAT. It's going to track a little bit slower, but it doesn't matter because we're overwhelming this target with firepower to take it down. And no matter what your focus is, whether it's capital ships, corvettes, or frigates, you're going to want to focus fire and kill those ships quickly because time to kill is so freaking long. You're not going to be spreading out that damage. The only time I would spread out damage is if I really want to kill something subsystem, particularly with bombers. So if something's got an absolute metric ton of damage output with proton torpedoes, for instance, you definitely want to kill those and focus them down. But for the most part, I have the fleet focus fire when I have the opportunity. We are going to lose the mid, but not for very long. We also have done something terrible. We didn't keep up with our production. We need to keep that going. We need to start running south. Now we're on the timer. We're on the clock here. We did just kill that ship, but we need to get here and start winning this fleet battle. We need to keep the enemy from getting any kind of advantage on firepower for any kind of class, right? What are you guys doing? Get down here. What they're doing, they're forming up with the Quasars right now, and that's going to cost us. What we want to do is individually select our units. You guys, go after those shield generators. You want to break them off from that group. So get in here. Arcs, go ahead and get in here. There's the HE rockets for these weird... They're dead. Yeah. They came with one of the Quasars. You know what? It's a great time to pop this. That way we heal all of these fighters, so any damage that they may have had is now completely repaired. We're going to be able to kill this victory, and we're ready to bring in another group. You know, it's time to get X-Wings. We need to start getting our X-Wings coming in. I'm going to make you Group 1, Space Station. Now, we need to start thinning out. This victory has been completely disabled. It is now absolutely useless. It's time to take those Z95s and make sure we're taking out the ties. Because every time we line up for an attack, it seems like every time we line up for an attack, if we have ignored fighters, they're able to slot in behind our ships and kill them much faster. If you've ever given an order to your fighters that were dogfighting and surviving for a really long time, and then you've given them an order to move someplace else, like, oh, let me get these X-Wings out of there or Y-Wings out of there, and suddenly they all die, it's because when you're flying in a straight line, when these fighters are flying in a straight line, they're suddenly really easy to hit. Because crazy thing, Empire at War actually renders the rounds and figures out like whether or not it's gonna hit or not based on how much the ship is moving. So yeah, that matters. That matters if you're telling them to go from point to point versus dogfighting. They'll get more survivability against fighters if they're dogfighting. How cool is that? All right, anyways, let's wait until we get a few more squadrons.
Cleared for departure.
Production started.
Squadron reporting.
And the other thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna start popping our fighter research. This is all fighter research. The other thing that you could do if you've gone through all your research down there is there is more research for fighters in the research station. So right here, we've got targeting system fighters. Developed and install advanced targeting system on smaller craft, increases fire range on fighters and bombers. We'll go ahead and queue that. And we should have an engine one as well. Advanced reactors, that's what it is. Develop and install advanced reactors, small craft, reduces cooldown abilities on fighters and bombers. I believe this isn't just their abilities. I think this might be their weapon systems too, but I could be wrong. All right, that, by the way, is a dead victory. Feels bad.
Copy.
Before we engage,
U-wing standing by.
let's don't feel bad about pausing.
I copy.
Pop. Is there any quasars
Reporting.
in this fight right now? There
Waiting
are
your orders.
quasars.
Yes, Commander.
He is in the fight.
Targeting.
Pop it. Sometimes it's hard to see with all of the particle effects going off. Let's kill that patrol boat. He's already dead. Let's focus our fire real quick on these lats so they're not sitting there just doing damage to us over and over and over again. And then while we're doing that, let's bring in, this is that cheaty AI, right? They're making way more resources than they should be. We're gonna bring in a freaking metric ton. We're gonna even use up all of our Z95s. Let's get everything emptied out. Let's get some quasars coming in.
Where's the trouble?
Get you guys hitting the enemy ship. I don't plan on us actually. Are you guys not quite? I had you attacking him, but I feel like you're missing. There you go. See the damage output on just a few squadrons that were in firing range? All right, you guys should be able to kill him before he makes his way back around.
Ready for action.
Go for those concussions. Let's go ahead and kill it, and then we're gonna switch over. Ooh, you. Pop this. Look at those. Those speedy HE ships are just getting wrecked. Not those. There they are. Even popped his ability. Get back in there. All right, quasars, it is time to push for the enemy base.
At your command. Ready for order.
We're going too deep. I actually don't care if that ship survives. Let's run. Quasar, quasar, and we're moving in. I'm gonna pick up Rogue Squadron because I think they should lead the charge here. And let's go for some more Y-Wings. I'm actually holding myself on purpose to Y-Wings. If you're wondering what these research bits are, these are for frigates. The individual production facilities actually have research for the ships that they've got. I think we can survive without one group of free Z95s. I'm going to pull them back so we can recap this. And we'll put one of the 22,000 stations so you guys can see that we'll get extra stations there. Fighter squadrons, you are all almost at full health. You literally are fine. Let's finish up this victory. Throw everything we've got into it. We'll bring in another quasar to give us a few more arcs.
At your command.
An escort, and then we'll move in, I think.
Sir, I copy.
Yeah, you keep harassing.
I copy, sir.
We're getting free fighters from the station. Oh, speaking of free fighters, they brought victories in the south, and they brought another victory. That's not good. We need to move in. We need to force this fight where we want it. We're going after the space station. That shouldn't be on fire. I think we've got a rendering bug. So I've ordered the whole group to move. They should be moving at... Yeah, that victory's not quite dead yet. There she goes.
Bombers at the ready.
All right, form up. Now I've ordered the whole fleet to move as a group, so they should group up
Bombers
with the
reporting in.
Quasars, giving us an opportunity to heal them again. I'm gonna pop
Waiting for formation.
this guy's ability just to make sure everybody's got full health.
Bombers reporting in. There's the press.
All those engine lights of
Our
all of
space
those
station
fighters.
is under attack.
I'm
How
set.
slow they're going.
Copy.
What are we up against in here?
Engines idling. Full throttle.
Let's kick your engine on. It's at full health. It's a level 5 space station. We've also got a research facility in the north. They just built that. Lots of turrets. And yeah, it's not good.
Roger that.
All right, bombers,
Moving
let's
to
go.
attack position.
We're going to focus on...
Hit the missile base.
we're going to go for the shield generator, actually. And then we'll have all of the X-Wings do the same thing for the back one.
On the shield generator.
Go ahead and move in. Z95s, you're after the TIE Fighters.
I copy.
I'm going to take all of the Quasars. I'm going to put them on top of the space station so that we have fighter control of it and we have constant heals going in. Now, reinforcements. We're still at
Upgrade
build cap.
complete.
We have an enemy victory class starting to approach.
Sir, I'm going in.
Let's bring in a single squadron, 2 wings, 2 elements
Y-wings.
of Y-wings.
Take down those shields.
Don't worry about the ions. I'm not really worried about them.
Trouble.
All the concussions are going after the Z95s. Wonderful. And we just ion cannoned it, so it's going to be doing less damage. All right. And the siege has begun and the space station shields are already down. We have won
Reporting.
the video game.
Waiting your orders.
Our space
It
station
didn't heal. There he goes. I was going to say, it didn't heal him. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to control, grab everybody, and we're going to start focusing down these shield generators. Shield generators are already down, actually. So let's go for the hangar bays. Keep them from getting any free units.
Damage. Ready.
No free units.
Directing all fire.
Back to the next hangar. Didn't mean to grab you guys. I did control A, though. Ooh, scimitar bombers. These things are a bit... In the current version, scimitars are OP. Like, they're just really, really, really strong. Of course, there's not enough here for me to really worry about. What, 2 squadrons kind of spread out? They will most likely be able to kill
Copy.
all of these
Fire.
fighters.
I copy.
I am going to have the Y-Wings even switch over to them. Maybe they'll get a good blast off. They might be able to take this down, but I have a feeling these 2 scimitar bombers will be able to kill this entire group. They have a lot of health. That's why. A lot of health and a lot of damage potential.
We've got you on scanners, Y-Wing.
All right. I think that's really it. Even with that victory up there. I mean, I could switch targets and have them take the victory out, or at the very least neuter its damage output, the concussion missile launchers at got port and starboard. But I don't think I care enough. I think we've basically won this. I don't think they can get an advantage here. Man, I love this Y-Wing so much. Skirmish is a weird one. And it's all about overwhelming your enemy, eventually getting enough resources to push them further. If they get established, they're almost impossible to beat. Right? Unless you end up getting a super cap, something that the AI just can't seem to overwhelm. But once the AI has the fighter advantage, the Empire will do this a lot. They will just get so many fighters in, kind of what we did here, that you won't be able to kill them fast enough. That's gorgeous. Remake just looks so damn good. Look at that. Where's the are there any Quasars left? Oh, the missile batteries to the left and to the right, and now that victory class up there are getting through the shield on it. Ah, there it is. Quasar looks good, though. You can even see inside the bays. I kind of wish they had a couple of fighters in the bays sitting in there. That would be neat, based on what faction is using them, because there's a Quasar for the Empire and is for the Rebellion. But all right, everybody, that is Starfighters only. Hardest difficulty for 1 AI. If you have a kind of battle you want to see, maybe we do all capitals, which would be really difficult, I think, or relatively difficult because it'd be a very late start kind of battle. Let me know in the comments what kind of battle you'd like to see and what factions you want to check out. And I'll make the videos. I'm having fun with Remake, testing it out. All right, everybody. I will see you all in the next one. Later.